Well, Jodi, thank you so much for letting us come tour your house. It's always exciting to see a house in person, especially one that's so well done with their antiques and their decor and touches of my favorite color, green. So
Mine too.
I appreciate getting to see your house and you sharing it with all of us. But I'm really curious, would you tell all the viewers a little bit about your transition to this house?
I had my social media before we even moved here to Polk City, and we lived in a very old home then. But however, I really decided to amp it up, and my blog when we moved, because I thought it would be a great time to document the things that I was doing in the house. And I also thought I was going to change my style, so I sold almost all of my antiques from when we lived in Huxley.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and so the first house we lived in when we moved to this town, I almost hated it immediately because I was missing what I truly love. So once we decided to build this house, and I decided that I was going to put that all back in, old into new, right? And so that's when I really started documenting, probably on both my blog and on social media, kind of following along with the projects that we do and the antiques that I find and love and how I style and decorate with those. So.
Yeah, and you came up with the Lindale Drive name because you lived on Lindale Drive, but then you built this house. So kind of tell us about that. Like, I feel like you told me there was an empty lot and you were like, hey, yeah, we're just going to stick to Lindale Drive.
Yeah, funny story. So the house is directly across the street, and in my bathroom window, I could see this lot. and I just called the builder that had built our previous house, and I'm like, is that lot like available? And he's like, yeah. And I told my husband, I'm like, I wouldn't have to change my blog name and all that. We just like stick with it. And we love the neighborhood. So it was just an easy choice to make when we decided to move here. We also really wanted a walkout basement, and this lot offered that.
Oh, so. I didn't know that. So the other one didn't?
No.
Okay. How long have you been in this house?
I think we've been in this one about 5 years now. It'll come on 5 years in July.
And then you lived in that house while they were building this one? Yep. Or did you have to rent, or it all worked out?
Yep, worked out perfectly. Yeah, so we moved our stuff, refrigerator and all, right across the street.
Just got a little dolly. Yeah. So in your dining room, what is the dining room now? I know you talked on Instagram before about flip-flopping the areas. Talk us through that. Like, what gave you the idea, and then like how'd you convince your husband to actually let you do it? No.
He's usually good with anything I do, except I needed his help to move the big furniture. So I think the biggest reason I wanted to at least try it is because we do have the big dining room table, and when it was in this spot right here where we're sitting, Max, it was hard to get around the table on this side. I felt very tight, and then there was a lot of extra space on the other side. So I just wanted to try it and see what it would look like. And it's crazy that I think both rooms feel so much bigger since we did it, but I'm kind of itching to switch it back.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, I would have never known, like if I hadn't seen it on Instagram, I would like walking in here, it just looks like it really fits and it looks normal.
People wondered about like a fireplace in the dining room. I'm like, yeah, like a lot of people like, yeah, but
totally works.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just fun, when you have an open floor plan like this, it's harder to change the furniture in a lot of ways. So that was fun to make a big flip switch like that, but I don't know, I'm kind of like, maybe I'll switch it back.
Yeah, so. Well, and that's the joy of, I don't know, living in your house. You can switch things up all the time, do whatever you want.
Exactly.
So you mentioned the super long table, which 10 foot?
Yes.
Okay. And so is that a find of yours?
It is. Okay. So a good friend of mine, she does a lot of picking, and I happened to be on vacation, and she called me. That table was originally green.
Okay.
So if you look back,
so because she knew you like green, or she knew you wanted a big table?
At both.
Okay.
Yep. We knew we wanted a big table for in here, and so I was on vacation in Minnesota, and she's like, I got this table for you. If you want it, let me know. I'll get it. And so I'm like, yep, grab it. So we lived with it green for a couple of years, and the legs on it were the original. So it's an original farmhouse table. The legs actually fold up underneath it. So I can imagine they pulled it out of the barn when they went to feed the feed the workers or
really
whatever.
Wanting to give me kisses. My mouth must have belonged to you.
Just somebody to annoy.
Oh, that's funny.
But I just decided one day that I'm like, I love the green, but I really felt like it the green table really stuck me to having to do green all the time, right? So I really wanted to see what the wood looked like. So my girlfriend and I and her husband got a wild hair one day and hauled that thing out in the driveway and started sanding. We looked like
Crazies.
oh, we were just covered in green paint. And then I ordered those big legs. So the old legs are still up underneath it, so it still could be turned back to its original state other than the green paint. But which I think somebody who had it in an antique shop probably painted it green. I don't know that that was original to the color, but
yeah.
Anyway, and then we added big chunky legs, and I absolutely love it. So. Actually, the island, I wanted an old piece of, architectural salvage type of furniture. And we have a piece up at our family lake home in Ely, Minnesota. And I asked my dad, can I have that out of the garage? And he thought I was nuts. My dad is a carpenter by trade. So we decided to build one. So the cabinetry, the drawers on the front are all functional, and we decided to put the drawer microwave in the island as well. But as far as skinning out all of the rest of it, my dad and I did that. Well, Dad came and showed me the cuts I needed to make and then left. So every time I'd call, I'd be like, okay, I have another question, and how do I make this cut? And he was funny because he'd be like, just remember, and I kept hearing it going over and over in my head when I'd cut long, cut long, cut long, right? Like you can cut it 100 times till you get it exactly right, but just keep cutting long. So, with my dad's guidance, then I actually did all of the woodworking on the outside of it. So it was just a box of cabinets when the builder put it together, and then I skinned it out, I guess. So
that's amazing. So the drawers are new too?
Yep.
And you just found some old hardware?
Yep, I just bought some old, actually it's new hardware, but just I found, handles that I thought looked like something that would be on an old piece. And then I used to have labels in the label holders, but one of my grandkids thought it would be really fun when she was like a year old to pull them out and tear them up. So I've never replaced them, but I thought it made it look more like an old, cabinet that we might have found, up in our old cabin. It was just shelving, open shelving in there. And I tore all the shelving out, put the wallpaper in the back to make it look like beadboard, and then I added the cupboards and then the faux countertop just to make it more of a coffee bar area. We found them on Facebook Marketplace, actually. They were the front doors, so it was a pair of doors that were on an old house down in southern Iowa. And the couple was restoring the home and pulled them off, so I bought the doors for $50. And I did strip them down. I didn't go, completely down to the raw wood. I don't mind this color. I know a lot of people don't love the red anymore, but I just feel like that's what that antique color was, and I really wanted to put some vintage into this new home. So we did have to do a few things. Our builder didn't love me when I put these old doors on, especially this one, because they had to custom make the opening to get the door to fit. This one, of course, we just hung it on the rails. I do have another old door that came out of my mom's farmhouse too that we put on our bathroom door.
So did you do the barn door because it would be easier on your builder, or was that your plan all along?
It was kind of a plan all along. I just liked the idea of being able to open or close that and have it on a barn door look. Otherwise, having the door, which way would it open? Into the laundry room, out into this room. So that just made more sense to have it on a track.
So what are some things that you collect? I've noticed you do like green, and I've noticed you have a lot of Crocs.
Yes, Crocs. I'd say ironstone. I love ironstone pitchers and even platters, plates. I do like some transferware. I'm kind of just started to find some different green transfer, and I know at Christmas you picked me up some green transferware, and yeah, I don't know, scales. I've had.
Yep, I love the one on your island.
And rolling pins. I don't know why it is. We think when we have one, you have to have 20, but you know, you see something you like, and you just keep getting it.
Well, and collections look good, I think. I mean, anybody looking at this tour is gonna, I don't know, multiples. They look good.
Yep, I do have a collection of butter pats as well.
Okay.
I don't have them out right now, but those are hard to find and they're expensive, you know. So it's like when you find stuff in the wild, that's what's fun. But you know, frustrating when you want to get it and you can't find something. So. probably seen the puck light trick where you don't have to have a light bulb in lighting if it's like a sconce on a wall where you don't have electrical.
And they're remote, or you push them, or there's both?
I think both.
Okay.
These you can push them to turn them on and off, or it has a remote control, battery operated remote control. I like to take a puck light, instead of just setting one puck light in the sconce so the light shines up, I put two in, so one shines up and one shines down. So that way when you turn the light on, you get light going both ways like a light bulb would show. So,
which I think is brilliant. And I think, you know, for people that want to follow you, you talked about your blog and Instagram, and you are on Facebook, right? And then you talked about how you're starting a YouTube channel, or starting to put more effort into your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Is there anywhere else that people can find you that you wanted to know about?
Yeah, those are the ways that you can find me. I do also have a newsletter that goes out on Thursdays, and you can sign up for that through my blog. Everything is through Lindale Drive. So,
and we'll share all of that down in the description box so that you can find Jodi. And if you like her house and her style, not only is she handy, thanks to her dad, but I mean, obviously she has good decor and she's very good at decorating, but just little tips like the puck light. I mean, I don't know. I like learning something new that is useful and looks good and affordable. And so if you like that kind of stuff, you can follow her there. Thank you so much, Jodi, for the tour. We really appreciate it.